Welcome back to my channel and also to the YouTube live session for science last minute revision. Yesterday we have revised part 1 textbook. Today we'll try to learn the important concept from the part 2 textbook. Students, if you go through the chapter wise, if you understand the concept, it is very easy to score good marks. Students, many of the students have texted that science is a little bit difficult. Definitely try to read the 100 plus questions and also the workbook. Definitely you can score good marks. And also many of the students are requesting for answers for science workbook. Many of the answers are from science 100 plus questions. After that, few questions you can check out the textbook to find out the answers. Students, also do join my Telegram group and also do subscribe the channel. Whatever the doubts you have, I'll be posting the maximum videos. I couldn't post the videos yesterday because I was not feeling well. Today I'll try my best to post the maximum videos or the concept which will be very useful for you. And also students, for numericals try to solve the examples in the textbook only. After that you can try out the different questions. First, what is there in the textbook, try to read that. Then if you have completely studied 100%, if you have studied the textbook, then you can go for additional question and give more importance to the preparatory paper and the model paper. We have seen for languages and maths, science, many of the questions have repeated from preparatory and model paper. Definitely you can expect few questions repeating in the science exam too. Those who have not joined my Telegram group, do join. I have posted the Kolar papers and the practice papers. Students, and also do subscribe the channel. After the exams, after the science exam, any news relating to the exam results and what is after 10th standard, that is what can be done after 10th standard, like science, commerce or arts or many other courses are there now. Many things will be done after the science exam. Do subscribe the channel and keep updated about the things happening in my channel. Students, you can take your part 2 textbook with pencil or pen, mark down the concept what I'll be discussing now. Those concepts will be very important. Definitely you can expect those questions in the exam. Students, there are few definite questions as I am discussing from yesterday. Those questions you should try to read. Now moving to the unit carbon and its compounds. Very simple chapter to score maximum around 7 to 8 marks. First you should know about the meaning of covalent bond and also the properties of carbon compound, the physical properties of carbon compound, and also the boiling and melting point of carbon compound is low when compared to the ionic compound. And also many of the carbon compounds are non-conductors of electricity. Just you can make a note of the physical properties of carbon compound. And students, next important the concept which can be asked for 3 or 4 marks is why it could not gain 4 electrons or carbon could not lose 4 electrons, or why carbon cannot form anion or cation by losing or gaining electrons. We know that carbon is a tetravalent, that means it has 4 valence electrons in its outermost shell. So these 2 points are very important. It can be asked for 3 or 4 marks. Why carbon cannot form cation or it cannot form anion, or the question can be carbon cannot gain 4 electrons or it cannot lose 4 electrons. Give reason or explain. And also the next concept is what? The dot structure of carbon compounds is very important. Whether it is formation of hydrogen molecule or formation of oxygen molecule or formation of nitrogen, or very important for 3 marks is electron dot structure for methane and also uses of methane. Methane is widely used as a what fuel? It is a major component of biogas and CNG, compressed natural gas. Formation of what? The methane. It is very simple. 1 carbon atom and 4 hydrogen atom is what? Methane. That is single bonded carbon compound. So we have versatile nature of carbon, that is the catenation property as well as the tetravalent nature of carbon. These are the 2 important properties, the unique properties of carbon. Definitely you should know about it. Definitely at least for 1 mark the definition of catenation will be as what is catenation, or what are the reasons for large number of carbon compounds, and also the tetravalent nature of the carbon compound. And also students, you should know the difference between saturated carbon compounds and unsaturated carbon compounds. Saturated carbon compounds where the carbon compounds are linked by what? Single bond, whereas unsaturated means double or triple bond. So you should know about the unique properties of carbon, that is catenation and tetravalency. I should know the difference between saturated and unsaturated carbon compound. For saturated carbon compound, example is alkane. For unsaturated it is alkene and alkyne. See a student, very important, the difference between saturated and unsaturated carbon compound. And also definitely the structure will be asked for 2 to 3 marks. The structure of the carbon compound, that is alkane, alkene and alkynes. Structure of ethene or structure of ethane. We have chain, branch and ring structure. Methane means single carbon compound. Number of carbon atom will be 1. Hydrogen is 4. Ethane means 2 carbon atom with 6 hydrogen. Propane means 3 carbon with 8 hydrogen. Structure. Student, for carbon always the 4 bond will be there, or it can be double bond structure also, or it can be triple bond structure also. If you see, only the 4 bonds will be there, not more than that. When you are writing the structure, make sure that each carbon has only 4 bonds, not more than that. Butane, number of carbon atom is 4. Pentane and hexane. And also you can expect one question like normal butane or isobutane or structure of cyclohexane or benzene. Out of these structures you can definitely expect 3 structures for 2 marks or 4 marks. Students, alkene have the general formula CnH2n plus 2. Alkene CnH2n. Alkyne CnH2n minus 2. Alkane single bond, alkene double bond, alkyne triple bond. Meth, eth, prop, but, pen, pent, and hex. At least you should remember first 6. Meth means 1 carbon atom, eth means 2, prop means 3, but means 4, pent means 5, and hex means 6. If the carbon compound name is starting from eth, that means number of carbon atoms will be what? 2. If it is starting from hex, it will be 6. Pent means 5, but means 4, and prop means 3. The same way, if they ask you to write the structure of butane, check the prefix, that is but means number of carbon atoms will be 4. Carbon atom is 4. An represents what? It is a single bonded, that means alkane. Now C4H, 2 4s are 8 plus 2 10, that is C4H10. Write first the carbon atoms, then link the carbon atom by single bond. I told you already, for each carbon only 4 bonds will be there, right? 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4. Now attach the 10 carbon atom. The same way for alkene and alkyne also you can try out with some, and also check for cyclohexane and benzene structures are very important. Cyclohexane and benzene structure, and also the definition of the functional group, and they'll give the compounds like propanol, propanoic acid, propanol, and they'll ask you to find out the functional group present in the carbon compound. So if OL means it is alcohol OH. Aldehyde, that means functional group is what? CHO. The prefix is what? Formaldehyde. Ketone means the suffix will be -one, that is C double bond. Carboxylic acid COOH. The functional group of alcohol is OH. Aldehyde is CHO. Ketone is C double bond. Carboxylic acid is COOH. You should know the functional group and homologous series. Homologous series is a series of carbon compounds in which the same functional group substitute for hydrogen in carbon chain is a homologous series. They have same chemical properties, but they have different physical properties. Successive members differ by what? CH2, 1 carbon and 2 hydrogen atom. Example is alkane series, alkyne series, and alkene series are example for homologous series. Students, you should know about the nomenclature also. For aldehyde, Al will be there, alcohol, OL, alkane, alloalkane, prefix bromo or chloro. That means chlorine means Cl, bromo means Br. Ketone, the suffix is -one. Carboxylic acid, oic acid, alkenes, ene, alkynes, ine. By looking at the suffix, you should decide the functional group. They can ask you to write the structure of structure of butane, pentane, with cyclohexane, benzene. What structural isomers means? They have same molecular formula but different structure. You can try out for the structural isomers of pentane or butane. These chemical properties have been deleted for your exam. Now we'll move to next unit. Students, carbon and its compounds is a very easy to, they can ask you question like this. Given a carbon compound, they can ask you to find out the number of covalent bonds, or given like butanone, by looking at the suffix, what is the functional group? It is carboxylic acid. No, it is a ketone one, right? It is a ketone. Al means aldehyde, oic acid means carboxyl, alcohol means OL, right? It is very easy to remember also. So very simple chapter to score 3 plus 2 plus 1 periodic classification of elements, students. From this you should know all the laws, that is Dobrogniev's law of triads and its limitations you should know. What you should know? Dobrogniev's law of triads and also the limitations of Dobrogniev's law of triads, then Newland's law of octaves, and its limitations are very important. Definitely either law for 1 marks with limitations will be definitely will be there for 3 marks. From this chapter, limitations will be asked for 3 marks. So either law, learn all the 4 laws: Dobrogniev's law of triads, Newland's law of octaves, and Mendeleev's law and Moseley's law, modern periodic law, and also you should know about the limitations. Limitations will be asked for 3 marks. Mendeleev's periodic table achievements and also limitations should be known for limitations of Mendeleev's classification. Students, from this unit you can expect around 1 mark or 2 mark application question. Given the atomic number, they can ask you to find out which, given series of the elements with atomic numbers, they can ask you to find out which element has high atomic size or least atomic size, which is more which has more metallic nature and non-metallic nature. There are 7 periods and 18 groups are there in the modern periodic table. You should know about the metalloids, which has both the properties of metals and non-metals, are called as metalloids. You can see example for metalloids: boron, silicon, germanium, arsenic, tellurium, polonium. You should know how the elements are placed in the modern periodic table by using what? The rule 2n square. So you should know about the valency and atomic size. What they can ask the question like, what is atomic size? Why? How does it vary along a period and down the group? And also give reason. Atomic size decreases along a period. Why? Atomic sizes increases down the group. Why? The reasons are very simple. See, you can directly see the reasons here. Try to read once and understand the concept, student. It's not that much difficult. If you understand the concept, it will be very simple. And metallic and non-metallic properties. And you should know about electronegativity and electropositivity. So you can expect what? The limitations of the laws, and also for 1 mark the laws and the periodic trends, that is valency, atomic size, metallic and non-metallic nature, will be asked for 2 marks. Give reason questions will be asked. Very simple chapter. Next, how do organisms reproduce? Asexual reproduction has been deleted. Now that is for this for exam syllabus starts from what? Sexual mode of reproduction. Try to read why sexual mode of reproduction. The importance of sexual mode of reproduction is very important. The concept of variation is very important. Definitely you can expect one question based on the variation, why it is helpful in survival of the species, and diagram of LS of flower or germination of pollen. Out of these two you can expect one diagram for the exam, and also difference between germination and fertilization. Make a note, the difference between germination and fertilization or pollination. The difference between the germination and fertilization or pollination or fertilization will be asked. And what happens after the fertilization? What happens to the ovary after fertilization? This based on this here, based on the topic sexual reproduction in flowering plants, definitely you can expect for 2 marks. After fertilization, zygote divides several times to form an embryo with the ovule. The ovule develops tough coat and is gradually converted into seed. The ovary grows rapidly and ripens to form a fruit. So these are very important. What happens to zygote? What happens after fertilization in the flowering plant? The ovule develops into a tough coat and it forms a seed, whereas the ovary grows and ripens it to form a fruit. Reproduction in human beings. So in model paper you might have seen explain human male reproductive system or explain female reproductive system. Diagram is not important, but you should, the functions of each part is very important. List down all the functions. Definitely remark question. The functions of the parts of male reproductive system or the female reproductive system will be asked for 3 marks. Or they can ask question like why the testis is placed outside the abdominal cavity, because sperm formation requires lower temperature than the normal body temperature. Hence, the testis is located outside the abdominal cavity. Function of penis, urethra, prostate gland, bladder, seminal vesicle, ureter. Functions of this part will be there definitely for 3 marks, students. Then you can expect a 3 mark question from like the changes seen during puberty of boys and girls, and also what happens to the egg released by the female when it is not fertilized. How does menstruation occurs? These are the important 2 mark question or 3 mark question, but definitely you can next very important definite question, what is placenta? Functions of placenta. So you can see, you might have seen this question has repeated many times in the board exams. What is placenta? Write the function of placenta is an important question, and also what happens when the egg is not fertilized is an important question. Based on the reproductive health, 1 or 2 mark question will be asked. By what ways we can avoid the pregnancy, and what are the barrier methods used by males and females to avoid pregnancy is also very important concept. How to prevent STDs, that is sexually transmitted diseases. How can we prevent sexually transmitted diseases is an important question. Use of copper T, condoms, and how to prevent unwanted pregnancies is also important. Why prenatal sex determination is prohibited by the law, right? It is also an important 1 mark question. You might have already studied in social also. See the difference between the process of pollination and fertilization, the role of seminal vesicle, prostate gland, what are the changes seen in the girls at the time of puberty, how does embryo get nourishment inside the mother's body? It is by what the functions of placenta. If a woman is using copper T, will it protect her from STDs? No, the chances are more. Students, that's what. Try to read the textbook questions. Many of the questions will be from the textbook questions. Try to solve the MCQs what is there in the textbook itself. Next, very important chapter, heredity and evolution. The importance of variation in the survival of a species. Very important 2-mark question. See here, this question is very important. How does the creation of variation in a species promote survival? And also you should know about inherited traits. And also Mendel's monohybrid cross or dihybrid cross will be there definitely for 4 marks. Mendel's monohybrid cross, learn monohybrid cross and dihybrid cross. Definitely out of these two, definitely you can expect 1 4-mark question. That is, the Mendel's experiment shows the traits may be dominant or recessive. It is in Mendel's monohybrid cross experiment. When the Mendel cross-pollinated pure tall pea plant with pure dwarf pea plant, in F1 generation all the plants were tall, right? What he did, when the Mendel cross-pollinated pure tall pea plant with pure dwarf pea plant in F1 generation, what we got, all the plants were tall. When the Mendel self-pollinated F1 tall plant, he got both dwarf and tall plants in the ratio 3:1. That means the dwarf character was present in F1 generation, but it was not expressed. Only trait of tallness was expressed. From this we can conclude that the traits can be dominant or recessive. What he did, Mendel cross-pollinated pure tall pea plant with pure dwarf pea plant. In F1 generation, what we got? We got all the tall plants. When he self-pollinated the F1 tall plants, he got the tall plants and dwarf plants in the ratio 3:1. That means the recessive character was present in F1 generation, but not expressed. Only the tallness was expressed. By this experiment, we can conclude that the traits can be dominant or recessive. You can easily draw what the checkerboard to get 4 marks. Mendel's monohybrid experiment or dihybrid experiment will be there. The questions can vary, but the answer will be same. At least if you draw a plant and write the answers, you can impress the evaluator, but it should not take much time. And Mendel's dihybrid cross experiment is also very important for 4 marks. Students, write point-wise. Don't try to by heart it. Try to write point-wise. Otherwise, if you write the schematic diagram also, you can score around 2 to 3 marks out of 4 marks. Just you need little bit explanation. What is the monohybrid cross ratio? It is 3:1. whereas for dihybrid it is 9:3:3:1. Sex determination is very important 3 or 4 mark question. How father is responsible for determining the sex of the child? The answer will be same. You need to explain with the flow chart. If you explain with the flow chart, definitely you can score 4 out of 4 marks or 3 out of 3. Based on evolution, try to read this the experiment. Acquired and inherited traits. Based on this, you can expect 1 mark question or difference between those two for 2 marks. Why are traits acquired during the lifetime of an individual not inherited? Speciation. Would define speciation. What are the reasons for speciation? List the factors responsible for speciation is an important 2 mark question. What is speciation? Reasons for speciation. Difference between homologous and analogous organ. Definite 2 mark question. Or example for homologous and analogous organs is an definite 2 mark question. And also, what are fossils? How can you determine the age of fossils is an important 2 mark question. How can you determine the age of fossils? There are 2 components of estimate. One is relative and other by what? The carbon dating method, that is detecting the ratios of different isotopes of the same element in the fossil material. So it is also an important 2 mark question. What are fossils? How can you determine the age of fossils? Is an important. And also you should know about the evolutionary by stages. Based on the cabbage, the evolution of wild cabbage, you can expect one question based on one MCQ. What are fossils? How can you determine the age of fossils? Wings of butterfly and wings of bat are considered as homologous organs. Why or why not? Give reason. So these are the important questions you can expect from the unit Heredity and Evolution. Light, reflection, refraction, very simple chapter to score around 10 plus marks in this unit. 3 marks numerical, 3 marks ray diagram, 1 mark 1 question and 2 mark 1 question. So from this unit you can expect the loss of reflection, and also definition of spherical mirrors and difference between convex mirror and concave mirror, and also the definition of pole, center of curvature or radius of curvature, and the principal axis, principal focus. So all this definition will be asked for 1 or 2 marks. You should know the definition of pole, then the aperture and the principal focus, principal axis, the uses of, and also the relationship between the radius of curvature and the focal length, r equals 2f. Based on this you can expect 1 mark 1 question, that is numerical, based on what? The relationship between the radius of curvature and the focal length. Image formation by spherical mirrors, you should know the laws, you should know the 4 rules. If you know all these 4 rules, it is very easy to draw the ray diagram. And the uses of convex mirror as well as the concave mirror is an what? Important 2 mark question. Uses of concave mirror, the uses of convex mirror. Give reason question will be asked, or directly they can ask the use of convex mirror or concave mirrors. Try to read what, and also the properties of image formed by the plane mirrors is also an important 1 mark question. The sign convention, without knowing the sign convention, it is very difficult to solve the problems. You should know the sign conventions. If you consider this as origin, left side of origin is negative, right side it is always positive, downwards it is negative, upward it is positive. Mirror formula based on mirror, magnification, you should know the definitions, and the problem will be directly from the textbook. As I told you, the questions will be directly from the textbook. Try to practice these problems from the textbook only. After that, if you have solved, you can check other questions. Then the refraction of light, you should know the definition of refraction of light, and also the 2 laws of refraction of light. You should know the meaning of emergent ray, incident ray, refracted ray. Laws of refraction of light is an important 2-mark question. Student, based on refractive index, you definitely can expect 1-mark question. What is refractive index? How does it? What are the factors influencing the refractive index, or formula or absolute refractive index? You can expect for 1-mark question. Or in refractive index of water is 1.33. What do you mean by this statement? Refractive index of kerosene is 1.44. What do you mean by this one? This kind of question will be asked for 1 mark. See, in same way, refractive index, what is refractive index? The refractive index of water, diamond is 2.42. What do you mean by this statement? Refraction of spherical lenses, definition of spherical lens, or difference between convex lens and concave lens, and the definition of the important terminologies. What is diverging lens, converging lens, of definition of optic center or center of curvature, radius of curvature, principal axis, principal focus. Students, this activity 10.11, this question I have been asked in previous year board paper, that is by using the convex lens, the formation of image by the convex lens. This is an experiment many of you might have done in your school days, that is in the primary day school days, focusing the light rays on a paper, the paper starts burning. So it is an experiment. Try to read this experiment once. And also, student, image formation by the lens, definite 3-mark question, the ray diagram based on convex lens, a convex mirror, or concave mirror. You should know the 3 rules. After knowing the 3 rules, the image formation by what? At least in the examination, you should draw the convex lens along with the principal axis and mark the what? The optic center, the center of curvature, and the radius of curvature. Definitely you can score 1.5 marks. Lens formula, and also the magnification of lens, the problems on the lens. Try to learn the problems directly from the textbook. Next, based on power of lens and the unit of power of lens. Power of a lens is what? Plus 2.2 diopter. What do you mean by lens? It is what lens is prescribed. It is convex. Minus means it is concave. Students, first start studying the unit light reflection and refraction, because you can easily score around 10 plus marks in this unit. Very simple chapter. Most of the questions will be directly from the textbook. This chapter has been deleted. After the exam, you can go through this the unit. This unit, it is a very simple and very interesting unit. Next important chapter, to score 1 plus 2 or 1 plus 3. The characteristics of good sources of energy, and also what is a good fuel, you should know it, and also the conventional sources of energy, fossil fuels, what are the disadvantages of using fossil fuels, very important 2-mark question. And also you should know the definition of dynamo also. Thermal power plant, the disadvantages of thermal power plant. Hydro power plants, the disadvantages of the hydro power plants, where there have been why there is opposition to build the construction of a dam over river Ganga and Sardar Sarovar project. What are the disadvantages of hydro power plants are also important question. And also based on biomass you can expect 3-mark 1 question, either it will be diagram or the uses of biomass or the gobar gas. What are the major components of biogas? What are the components of biogas is an important 3-mark. Uses of biomass or the biogas plant diagram or the components of biogas and its uses also important 3-mark question. What is wind energy, how it is useful, and also the disadvantage of the windmill. Why we need to look for alternate sources of energy, disadvantages of fossil fuels, alternate or non-conventional sources of energy. Solar energy, based on solar energy you can expect 1 or 2-mark question. Based on solar panel, why it is coated black color, which glass plate is used. Why black color is used? Because its black surface absorbs more heat as compared to white or reflecting surface. What kind of glass is used inside the solar cooker is a 1 more question. What is solar cell? Which element is used in solar cell? Solar cell panel, and limitations of the solar panel is 2-mark important question. See here, silicon is used what in making solar cells. The disadvantages of solar cells are it is very expensive, it is high cost and low efficiency. So you can list out the disadvantages of using what solar cells, and also the element used inside the solar cell, and also definition of solar cell. And also the definition of tidal energy, wave energy, and ocean thermal energy, geothermal energy, and disadvantages of nuclear energy is important 1 or 2-mark question. Hazards of nuclear power generation. We know that we have to use the highly radioactive elements. The radioactive elements can cause high risk of cancers or health hazards for humans. Hence, maximum we need to avoid the use of, or we have to dispose it very safely. Then the environmental concept, this and all you can write on your own also, you'll get the marks. So this chapter have been deleted. So in most of the concept we have revised now, and also go through the textbook, and more importantly the science 100 plus questions and science workbook. If you solve, definitely you can score good marks, students. The main thing in the examination is you should attempt all the 38 questions. Don't neglect any question or don't leave any question. Give importance to all the questions and read the maximum concept. Try to concentrate on the definite questions like ray diagrams, problems, and the diagrams, and the formation of the compound like sodium chloride, magnesium chloride, the structures of carbon compounds, the properties of metals, non-metals, then the balancing the equation, writing the balanced chemical equation for the given statements, and from the unit acid and bases, the uses of salts. So these are the very important, many of the important, and monohybrid cross experiment, dihybrid cross experiment, sex determination, speciation, many of the laws, that is limitations of Mendeleev's law, Dobrigne's law of triads, Newland's law of octaves. These are the very important questions and definite confirmed questions, students. The questions will be direct. It's not previous year board papers used to have around 20%, 20 to 30% of application questions. This year it has been reduced. Many of the questions will be from the textbook. If you have not started studying, it is the best time to start now only to finish the complete questions. If you are not able to read the textbook, with confidently read the science workbook and the science 100 plus questions, definitely you can score good marks, students. If I'll try to post any of the questions if I missed out. Do try to check out the videos what I'll be posting, and also if I'm not able to post, I'll be posting what the questions in my Telegram group. Do join the Telegram group. And also, students, after the exams, take a little bit of relaxed time. Don't engage yourself in using mobiles. So engage yourself actively with your parents, with your friends, talk to them. Then you sit with your parents, decide what you have to do in future, that is after 10th standard, which combination you need to take. Try to discuss with your seniors and the college what you wanted to join. All these things you can list it down and you can discuss with your parents. About this, I'll post a video in my channel. Do try to check it out. There are many courses available now. Based on your interest, you can join. Students, thank you for watching the video. Hopefully this last minute revision sessions have helped you, and also do check out the problems what I have posted, that is the numericals on light and electricity. What I suggest is try to solve the examples from the textbook first. Try to learn that first, then you can solve other questions. Give more importance to the questions which are there in the textbook. On 60-70 marks, the question paper will be very easy, direct questions. On 5 to 10 marks, you need to little bit struggle means you need to understand the question right on your own, but you should attempt all the questions. Those are attempting all the questions, definitely you can score good marks, students. When valuing a paper, if the student has written an answer related to the concept, definitely half or 1 marks will be provided. If you have not written, we cannot give the marks. That's why it is always better to write something about the concept what you have learned according to the question. Students, thank you for watching the video. Do subscribe the channel, and importantly, if my videos have been helpful, if it is helpful to you, if you want this my channel to be useful to others, do share with your juniors. That will be very much helpful to others too. Last year students, Many of the students have scored very good percentage on the day of result. Many of them, they have texted me that they have got good result. This year also I am expecting everyone to score the marks above your expectation. May all God bless you to score good marks in the final SLC exam, and all the best for your results too. Thank you, students.